This is Ouch My Wallet, hosted by Robert Simmons, a production of the TF Talk Network.
Hello, welcome to Ouch My Wallet. This is actually not hosted by Rob. I apologize. I've just been lazy and have not redone the intro. So, here we are. And I notice it's like a much younger looking myself, like in the video. I feel like I've been aged by COVID, I feel like. So anyway, I'm Lucas. I am joined tonight by Peter.
Forever Destron.
And then we should have Paul joining us a little bit later. He was running a little bit late, but we wanted to go ahead and get started because, Peter and I have plenty of things in our pile to show off. So we figure we can go extra rounds and then Paul can show up and probably outdo, whatever we're showing off, right? At least me. I don't know.
Yeah. me too. Maybe.
So, but I actually didn't. There was one thing I was trying to find, which shows you how much I cared about the thing I bought. Like I bought a Cyberverse figure on clearance this week. I was going to show that off, but I don't even know where I put it at. So there we are. So,
I've still got my bag of blind pack Cyberverse things that I haven't done anything with. They're just kind of sitting here.
Yeah. Have you cleaned out any, what is it? Is it Five Belows or Ollies or whatever? What are the ones where the bots are showing up at?
Dollar Tree. I've got
Dollar
people
Tree.
looking. Yeah.
Yeah.
They haven't shown up here in Florida yet, but they've shown up in Maryland, California, Washington State, Illinois, and I think Missouri. So they're in your neck of the woods. Yeah.
I need to go check out my Dollar Trees and see if they're there. So.
Yeah, this is the elusive Wave 5 that saw a little bit of a trickle here and there, and then disappeared, and then showed up at Entertainment Earth for $140 for the case, and a bunch of people jumped at that. I was almost one of them, but I decided to take my chance. I figured it would be at Ollie's at some point, and it's at Dollar Tree, which is even better. So.
Well, it's one of those things where it's kind of frustrating because I think Christian was the same way, where I believe that he bought them imported from the UK, right?
I think so, something like that. He either did the UK or the Entertainment Earth thing, or no, Toy Wiz. I think it was Toy Wiz, and he paid way too much. And anyway, we went. He was kind of frustrated by the price, but he was happy to have them.
Right. Well, that's the thing. You never
that.
knew if they were actually going to show up for sure, because it's like you can sit there and say that, or you can just sit. I know that's like the last wave of those Transformers trading card game cards. Like if you're trying to complete that, like the first 4 waves are like on clearance, and you can just find them all day and whatever. That last wave, and man, I wish I would have ordered extra boxes, ahead of time. I did get, I can't remember if I got 1 or 2, but anyway, all the special, the super rares that are in there, it's like, good luck finding some of those. So
if you're finding them, how much are they running? Have you checked lately?
I haven't checked lately, but it's been consistent where they've been way really expensive, like triple the price, quadruple the price kind of thing. So
that's rough.
Yeah.
I don't think I got anything from that wave because I was distracted by other things, and then the wave came and went, like it was like poof, and it was gone. And I was like, well, it'll come back around. Oh no! And so I'm expecting this to show up in those bargain repacks that you see like 2 or 3 years down the road. You'll see them at Target. Oh
yeah, I could see that. So yeah, I don't know how much they ended up producing and whatnot too, but yeah, it was, I don't know, it's kind of frustrating, because I was kind of trying to complete all of them, and I got pretty close with the first four waves, and then the last one. It's like I have everything except for a few of those. I probably could. And then there was promotional cards, and like the card shop didn't get the promotional cards that they were like if you ordered boxes you were supposed to get, and yada yada. It's just all that kind of jazz. It's frustrating. And then like even
BotCon
trying
stuff, the Loot Crate one, like there were other
Right.
like rando things. Yeah.
Yeah, like it was one of those things where like I was playing the game, pretty regularly with some people locally, and like I never even really played Wave 5 because COVID shut us down, and then we're like, oh, we're gonna get together like once this passes in a couple weeks, and
Yeah, we know how that went.
yeah,
Yeesh.
yeah. So
So why don't you kick us off? What do you want to start with?
Okay, so let's see. I guess I will start off with I got myself some sunglasses. So these are the knockaround sunglasses. I think Nick showed these off. Like he got them as well. And it was kind of like once I saw his, I was like, oh, that looks kind of neat. So I just got them in today. But so the packaging is pretty neat. Like on the case, and then they come with a little Optimus Prime
Oh, I like that.
thing, yeah. And so the sunglasses themselves, like they're pretty much all plastic. But yeah, like I think like the lenses look nice and all that type of thing. I mean, they are plastic, so it's like one of those things where you have to kind of be careful with them that they're not the highest quality. I think they're like $35, I believe, for shipping.
That's what I'm seeing here. Yep.
But yeah, like I don't know, like Nick got them, and I thought they looked pretty neat, and so I was like, I will go ahead and purchase a pair of these myself. So
I like that. It's like it's got Prime's colors, and
Mhm.
is that like his grill or something like on the side there? I see some
Yeah.
venting, like his helmet venting and stuff. Okay,
So
very cool.
anyway,
That's something
but yeah,
I don't
no,
have. Yeah.
There you go. So yeah, order them now before they. I have no idea if they're gonna sell out or not. Like it's always hard to tell with, some of these things. Like I got those Bumblebee shoes, and like I think the Optimus Prime ones sold out, from like a year or two ago.
Mhm.
And it's like you never know with this stuff. Like, is it gonna sit there forever and go on clearance, or is it gonna sell out right away? So.
Well, even the things that go on clearance, 2 years down the road, once it's gone, then suddenly the price spikes, and you're like, oh, I should have. It languished at 80% off, and I was like, I'll get to it, and then you snooze, you
Well,
lose, sort of thing.
That's a case like Victorion is like that too, where I mean there's a gaggle of figures these days that go for crazy prices, but Victorion was like on clearance. I think I got mine for like $45 or something, and now it's like you can't. I mean, I don't know.
Now
people
she's
saying eBay is
$400.
like, yeah, it's
Yeah.
so, but yeah, Phil, I agree that they're very patriotic. So yeah, I'll have to wear these on the 4th of July, I guess here. So, but that coming.
Wait,
up,
we're
so.
on YouTube. I gotta be on the chat. I'm sorry, everyone. I'm not technically savvy. I,
Didn't have
website
the YouTube
today. Whoops. So okay, I'm up now. Very patriotic. Looks like 4th of July. I know. I can read. I can make America. Ignore my hair. This is by design. Yeah, that license stuff can be fun. I have a few license things. Well, I have a lot of license stuff. I have a few of the more modern things, and I've picked up some of the older, a lot of the older stuff or whatever. And it's kind of a crapshoot. I'm forever there's no limit to the new licensees that Hasbro lets you put the branding on, whether it's just an Autobot insignia or the full Optimus Prime themed whatever, or Bumblebee themed whatever. But like even recently, there have been licensed things from like 84, 85 that have come out of nowhere, like those socks that Rick picked up, and they're Twin Twist socks. They're branded from 1985, and it's just like, where did these come from? How come no one knew about these before? And the seller had 3 pairs. I think they sold 2, and then it went out of stock. But it said it only sold 2 of the 3, so I don't know what's going on with that. So yeah, license stuff can be really neat. Those sunglasses are certainly neat. I'm gonna have to pick those up, and yeah, very cool.
Yep. All right, Peter, what do you got?
One, I got to get a hug really quick because my
Okay.
kid, she's going to bed.
But yeah, normally I don't actually pick up a lot of the licensed stuff. I'm pretty picky about all of those things. But I don't know. I thought these looked neat and the price was right. So
I used to want to be picky, but then something broke internally, and the filter fell off, and now I have full sets of party favors from 1984, including balloons and wrapping paper and tablecloths and centerpieces and hats and plates and cups and bowls, 2 different sizes of plates, and just like what? And I've got a set of stuff from the UK, and I've got a set of party stuff from the US, and what? Why? What is it? It's not necessary, but I have it. Whatever. It's licensed fun.
I mean, I always really enjoy looking at that stuff. I have no place to keep it, and I don't want to necessarily just have tubs and tubs of things like that. So I don't do it, but I always enjoy it when you and Rick and or Nick or whoever show those types of things off. I always think they look really neat, and it's a neat look back at history of the brand and all that type of thing. So,
yep. And there's even a market for like the licensors kits. There's someone on one of the groups right now who's sharing, I guess her aunt was a merchandiser or some sort of like Hasbro rep in the 80s, and she's showing off all the promotional kits and licensor brochures and like VHS tapes that are full of the commercials from 86, 87, 88, and it's just like, this was a document that she used to hand out to retailers back in this year, showing all the things that we've licensed using these following properties, and it's just like packets and packets and packets of info. And I would love to get my hands on that sort of stuff. Scan it, archive it, keep it, but also like, look at this. I don't even know what this is, but I want it and I have it. Yay! I don't have it, but it would be nice to if I had it. That's what I would say. I have it. Look at this thing.
I just think it's funny because, I mean, just imagine it at work. I'm sure you kind of have the same thing where you probably have like, a bunch of binders and a bunch of like swag stuff that they gave you and all this type of stuff, right? And like that you probably like dumped at some point when you did a move at your office, whatever. Like I'm saying, like, wait, are you keeping all your office stuff too?
Yeah.
Like I'm saying, not
they have not my office, the company that I work for, they have branded merch, and they've got action figures and bobbleheads and stupid stuff, weird stuff, and we hit a certain dollar amount in shares at one point, and they gave us clothing, limited edition clothing, and it's just all that stuff is on eBay. You can find it. It's weird. I haven't gotten rid of mine because I still work there or whatever, but maybe someday I won't work there. I don't know. Sell that stuff. There's a market for it. There's a market for everything.
I don't know. I just think it's funny because I'm sure there's probably somebody at Hasbro that's like, you want all my like junk that I just have, kicking around, like that I took home from the office in 1987. But
I would love that. I would love to just like pick Rick's brain or just wander around the basement and like look at his stacks of stuff, his non-toy, non-merch, just things he had from Hasbro, from his time at Hasbro, like just documents and weird stuff. I think it's just so interesting.
Right. Like I'm sure Archer, I think he's talked about some of that type of stuff too. It's like I'm sure he has like mountains of those types of things from when he was there at Hasbro too. So
sketches, just internal design documents, internal just weirdo memos talking about we can't do this and we're not moving forward with that. We're going to do this direction because blah 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 blah. Like, what was that? There was the line that eventually became our motto was some sort of, he had some sort of script proposal or pitch that he had published a couple of years ago. I forget I forget all the details of it, but like, like Transtech was a thing that started and then didn't quite happen until much later. The sequel to Beast Machines, and they had toys and protos and things. Like, where is all that stuff? That's neat. Even the documents would be neat to get my hands on or my eyeballs on.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I definitely think all that stuff is really cool. But anyway, what do you have to show off, Peter?
Oh yeah, my wallet. I've got my first thing from my wallet is this. Do you know what this is?
No, what is that?
This is a GoBots Space Hawk vehicle. It's a vehicle they made for the GoBots to fly around in by Tonka, 1986. It made an appearance in the I don't know if it made an appearance in the show. I haven't finished watching the GoBots show, but Challenge of the GoBots. But it made an appearance in GoBots Battle of the Rock Lords, their theatrical movie. Hey, who's this? There's some guy here named Destron. He says GoBots. Yeah. Destron. Neat. So yeah, this thing sort of transforms. It unfolds in a unconvincing way. It kind of looks like an ATST once it's done. It's pretty awful, and I hate it. But I needed it, so I got it. The end.
So I actually haven't seen that, and I like to dabble in the GoBots merchandise myself. So is that something that is somewhat rare, or is it like relatively easy to find? Because I know like the GoBots Command Center, right, is like ubiquitous. Like you could just find 20 of them on eBay at all times.
There's probably about 200 of them on eBay right now.
Or whatever.
But I know what you mean though. You're right. It's ubiquitous and it's just everywhere. And the platforms and the jail and the hoses and the head, and you can piece it together for nothing. These used to sit at Toys R Us and Child World and KB on clearance and sit like we mentioned earlier, things that just sit on clearance forever, and then they all disappeared. And then they were on eBay in the 90s for $5 in the box sort of thing, and then they all disappeared. So this one, I don't know, it's loose, it's kind of busted, it's not in great shape, but it's fine for a loose display. It's missing its stickers, which makes me sad, but oh well, it still does everything it needs to do. And so I guess it's kind of rare. It's kind of crooked. It's kind of got a crooked hatch, but that's okay. So it's kind of rare, but it's not expensive, so it's not like valuable or anything. It's just a fun little thing that I needed to fill a hole in my collection. So we did.
That's kind of like my lane that I really enjoy is stuff that is rare, that's like hard to come by, so it's like there's a search to it, but it's not that expensive, and so you're not paying crazy money, but then it kind of gives you that thrill of the hunt of like you see it at TFCon or whatever it may be, and you're like, oh hey, that, like I've been looking for that, it's on my list for a couple years, like sure, yep. I'll go ahead and get that.
It's kind of like on the reserved list, the reserve want list, where it's like not the thing that you're after right now, but there it is, and it's right price, and there it is. Let's do that. You're right. It's a good feeling. It's really satisfying.
Yep. So, all right. Is it me again? I guess.
Yep. It's your turn.
Okay, so I dabbled in some clearance at BBTS and decided that, so I have I pretty much had all the Planet X figures at one time, and then I sold them all, and then they keep popping up on clearance at BBTS. So I got to Starscream a while ago. And so then I was like, his friends came up on clearance. And so I said, you know what? I need his friends at the right, like, BBTS clearance price. I believe.
Yeah.
I think were they 35 or 40, something like that. I mean, yeah,
oh,
like
wow.
that's the thing is that it's been. I mean, to be honest, I think I usually never make money on figures, but like I think I actually sold these for more than when I'm buying them on clearance and whatnot. But yeah, they are actually really neat looking figures. So this is the War for Cybertron model. So they're kind of a bear to transform, in my opinion. I don't know if you had these before.
I have not.
They're not all that fun to transform, but they look really good in bot mode. So that is where they stay on my shelf. So yeah, so these guys are joining my Starscream on my little display that I have with a handful of Planet X figures. So not quite the level of what it was before, but yeah.
Very cool. The Planet X stuff, I was resistant to getting it at first. Did you get their Trypticon and all that? Trypticon and Omega Supreme?
I have not. The Trypticon, and I probably should have done it when that was on clearance at BBTS, but I don't really have the room for a figure that big. Have you gotten it?
I don't really have a spot for War for Cybertron stuff in my open display, and that's not something that I would want to leave in the package. So
right.
It's just kind of by the wayside. If I come across it right price, right opportunity, and have space for it at the time, then I wouldn't be against picking it up. But I do have their Star Saber and their Desirus figure, and I love. I love Desirus just as a character, but
right.
The engineering on that figure, and I got the upgrade kit and all that. Was it Cadmos and Ismenios? And both those figures are fantastic. I can't wait for their Grimlock to come out. He looks
looks really great too.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly those figures are probably the best figures that they've done. So these ones are good. I mean, these are some of the older figures that they have done at this point.
Right, those are 4 or 5 years old mold wise, right?
And whatnot. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And
they
so
look great.
These ones look really good, but they don't have these don't have a lot of paint on them, whereas the ones you mentioned do. I mean, they still look really good though. The plastics, good and all that type on these. But yeah, no. The only thing that's a little frustrating is that now them and MMC are kind of stepping on each other's toes. A little bit with it, because I know MMC originally had a Grimlock, and then that's kind of shelved now, and they had a Desirus, and that's kind of shelved now, and
the Desirus keeps getting pushed back and back and back and back, and it's been getting pushed back for 3 years now. And Grimlock, from what we've seen, is officially kind of off the list for the foreseeable future. So if Planet X gets theirs out first, then it's almost guaranteed a nail in the coffin for the MMC Grimlock, which is unfortunate.
Yeah. Right. Which I'm sure they will, because I feel like Planet X usually doesn't show their stuff off till it's pretty far in the pipeline. So
unlike MMC, who will tease it 4 years ahead of time. They're not as bad as Fans Toys.
Right.
But they do tease quite a bit in advance.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I almost wonder if they tease things a little bit just to see what the reaction's going to be. And then, depending on how much chatter there is and whatnot, decide to move forward. And I mean, I don't know. It's hard to say on a lot of it. I know, especially those bigger figures, that there's a lot of tweaking they have to do, and just all kinds of things like that. Like some of those DJD guys took years to come out. So,
I think it was 5 years. 2016 to 2020, early 2021 for all five, well, including Nickel and the pet and all that, for the entire team to come out. Yeah, it was 5 years.
Yeah.
Well worth the wait.
No, it was absolutely. And that's the thing that's it's satisfying to actually have that happen. Because a lot of times, I don't know, I mean, I'm sure you've probably been a few teams like that, or combiners, where the first figure is really good and you get in on it, and then by the end you're like, oh, what is this? They kind of just gave up.
Or you get in on it because it's the best thing I think we've talked about this on another episode, different format, but you get in on it because it's the best thing in the game right now, and then by the time the third figure comes out, some other company comes along and everything that they're showing is just way better than you ever. And then collectively, the entire fandom's like, well, I'm out on this because that's coming. and that's better. You know, like all
Right.
that TFC stuff, like TFC Defensor and TFC whoever. Most of the TFC stuff just like,
Well, I think that the DX9 Menasor has to be, one of the examples of that where by the time after they got the first couple figures out, then, X Transbots got theirs, but then that whole debacle with that where they release all the figures and then, oh wait, like they're, I don't know. That's
yeah, you got to buy a
so,
trailer and you got to buy an add-on kit and you've got to buy. Oh boy. But
right.
stick around for the youth version or the whatever. Yeah.
But although I will say some of that stuff seems like it's a great value now that the Legends combiners are like $400.
Yeah. Yeah. It keeps stacking. I feel bad for people who do character collect like combiner teams. Like I only want all the Menasors. Well, good luck. Have fun.
Right, right. So, all right, what you got, Peter?
Next we'll go over here and I'll show off this guy. Do you know who this is?
Is that's another Go, isn't it? One of the Super GoBots?
This is one of the Super GoBots. This is Stax. This is actually the Stax Transport. He comes with a little Ultra Magnusy car carrier type trailer, and you can load your GoBots onto that, and it opens up, and you can, where's the button? Button somewhere. It drops down.
Peter, you're gonna make me want to go on eBay now and start looking for more GoBots.
You can drive your cars up, and then you lift the little thing, and it clicks into place. Yeah, click into place. Click into place. You can do it. I believe in you. And you close it up, and then you pull them around, dun 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 dun, dun like that. And Stax is Stax. This is the black version of Stax. He comes with black feet and a black hitch part and long smokestacks. There were variants available where this part was blue, the feet were blue, and there were short smokestacks. And there's a mix of whether you got the stacks in the single pack without the trailer or stacks in the trailer pack, whether you got the long smokestacks or the blue back or the black back or the short smokestacks. So this happens to be the black version with the long smokestacks and the trailer. And the trailer also has a variant where it's either a black top like this or a blue top. I've only ever seen the black top. So yeah, and stickers are good on it. Transformation's good. Nice stickers all around. Pretty. We're very happy.
That's that's great. I've actually never seen that trailer. I've seen Stacks before, but I didn't realize it came with the trailer.
Yeah, he was available in a single pack, just the normal Super GoBots box, and then he was in a big this combo pack. And in Australia, there was a pack that was released like this, but with 3 or 4 additional. It's called Machine Men, I think. Yeah, Machine Men in Australia, and it came with a white turbo, a gray Hans cuff, however you want to pronounce that, different colored rest queue, and a different color. There were 4, and they were all different colors than the normal GoBots, and they're officially Bandai licensed molds. So if you can find them, it's just like crazy color variants. They've got all the same stamping, the same marks, the actual like copyrights. So that's like, those are Grail level recolors. So find those funny colored GoBots. They're great.
Yeah, I'm sure there's like somebody like we've talked about before at a flea market that's like, oh, what's this? Like, whatever. And somehow they have one of those because they were, took a trip to, wherever. So in Australia, did they have, was it GoBots in Australia or was it
No, it was
Machine Robo?
Machine Men.
The Machine Men.
Yeah, there was Robo Machine, GoBots, Machine Men, and Machine Robo. Machine Robo was the Japanese series, and then between GoBots, Robo Machine, and Machine Men was here, Australia, and Europe. And in Europe, some of the like Robo Machine stuff says Robo Machine, GoBots. Like real small, it says GoBots. Later on, they started like changing the branding and changing the names, but it never fully enmeshed.
So did they have their own cartoons that they rebranded, or?
They took the Challenge of the GoBots cartoon by Hanna-Barbera and played it overseas, and then in France they took the 1986 Machine Robo's Revenge of Kronos cartoon and made that the second season of Challenge of the GoBots. So it's a completely different animation style, completely different feel. Like people are just murdering the shit out of each other. There's like a stacking element where Ramstal uses the wolf sword to merge and become Ken Ryu, and then if he gets defeated, he becomes Bai Kung Fu and like gets even bigger and fights Devil Satan 6, and he's fighting the Gaiandalar who are looking for the Hyrie bead, which is like some like eternal life thing. It's a whole thing. So the second season of GoBots, or the sole season of Machine Robo Revenge of Kronos, is a really fun show. I got it on VHS in the 90s, the first 3 volumes. And then I got it on DVD when they released 2 volumes in the mid 2000s. And then I found a bootleg subbed by non-native English speakers somewhere around 2012. And I was able to finally see the whole series. Those subs are insanity. They're just not English. You have to, what is happening here? But you can figure out what's going on. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a fun series.
I just think it's like interesting back in the 80s that they would take cartoons from, other parts of the world or animes or whatever, and then just like slice and dice and cut those up and make them into other cartoons, that like have, may not necessarily have anything to do with it. Like I can't imagine that ever happening today.
I can see it. Yeah, it happened a lot when we were kids, and it obviously happened with this Machine Robo stuff. But there's at least connective tissue with the French version of Challenge of the GoBots because they're all the same toys, Yeah. Bike Robo, who is Psykill, Bike Robo is the antagonist leader in Challenge of the GoBots season 1, but by the midpoint of Challenge of the GoBots season 2, Revenge of Kronos, he's leading a strike team that uses the Land Battler 5 armor to fight the Gaiandaros guys or whatever. It's insanity. It's just complete, but it's all the same toy. So if a kid, has the Bike Robo figure, he can be like, "Oh, I'm Psykill," and then halfway through season 2, he's like, "Oh, I'm totally a good guy now. I'm gonna fight the bad aliens." And it's like, okay, I guess this sort of makes sense. It's the same toy.
It's his redemption arc.
It's exactly. It's the whole thing is Psykill's redemption arc.
So there you go. So. Let's see. What else do I have to show off here? So I have. How many more rounds are we going to go? We think. I don't know if Paul's going to show up or not.
Who knows if Paul's going to show up? I can go for days.
Okay, so I'll go a couple more rounds here at least, and then we can, if Paul shows up. So, I forgot to cancel something on Pulse, and so I have the spoiler pack.
Oh, hey.
Sorry, spoilers here. So yet another Siege Megatron. How exciting is this?
So exciting. He gets new accessories. That's fun.
He does. So what makes me a little bit mad is I actually like this one the best because it's like the most show accurate of like at least the decals on the chest. Behind this cool, like first off, the accessory is really cool. But the chest, like the little decals and whatnot, are, if I can get this off here, are actually like these are the most show accurate.
It took them 5 tries, but they made it.
So like if you look like at the Netflix one, it's not quite show accurate. This is more show accurate.
That's the one right there. And
yeah. So we only I only had to get how many Siege Megatrons? I don't know how many this is up to now.
Well, we haven't talked about Premium Finish yet, but I mean we have and Premium Finish is less show accurate than that one right there. So So I think we're up to 5 or 6 total uses of the mold, but they're not all like CG cartoon Megatron. Some of them are like Gen 2 tank or whatever.
As of right now, I don't have the Premium Finish order. I have to double check just to make sure I don't have that on Pulse. But I pre-ordered the Optimus one because I actually think it was kind of neat. And so I wanted to check it out, and I really like that Optimus mold, and they didn't really do that many repaints of that one of Optimus. So 'Cause I'm
The
gonna check.
Nemesis and the
Yeah.
Netflix, and that might be it.
Well, and they also
Premium.
did the 35th anniversary one that was like the cell shading.
Ah, that's right. I forgot about that one. The one that was with the Sound Blaster assortment, the first Sound Blaster assortment.
So,
I forgot about them. They did a cell shaded Megatron too.
yes, so I have that Siege Megatron as well. So, but what's weird is they've only redecoed the Earthrise Megatron once so far. I mean,
Yeah,
we still
green
have plenty
G2
of
Mech.
time. They
Yeah.
had the G2 one, which that's by far the best looking one. Like, I think I mean, to be honest, like this one I think looks cooler. Like the head sculpt and all that, and just the look of the figure overall, I think looks better than that Earthrise. For whatever reason, it doesn't quite work. But I'd really like to see them give it another go and see if they could, I don't know, like if they made it all silver, maybe something like along those lines.
If they did a clean deco, just a straight clean deco, no cell shading, no nothing, I think a lot of people have been asking for that. It's not something I would turn down. Like Zaldron's saying in the chat here, though, Megatron got 6 Siege mold uses and 2 Earthrise mold uses, and that's just Hasbro's getting their money out of the molds. But holy moly, I don't know how much more I can personally take. I know my kid is tapped out on Siege and Earthrise molds, and I'm sure a lot of kids are. If you have one silver tank Megatron within the last 3 years, you probably don't need another one if you're 10 or 12 years old.
Right. But there's always a new 10 or 12-year-old that watches the Netflix show, and that's the reason they do it is that they want an Optimus and they want a Megatron on the shelf, so that when the kid says, hey, watches that Netflix show for the first time, and I want that, you get it, so...
Which beggars the question, where are all the bumblebees? Because there was only the one bumblebee in the one assortment, and he got scooped up by all of us old crazy people. And kids want bumblebees. I can't blame them for it.
But the bumblebees are in Cyberverse, so that's where you just go, all right, kid, you just get...
You squint at the bumblebee like, it's close enough. Okay.
Get the Cyberverse one. So I'm sure we're gonna get another bumblebee. I'm sure it's coming down the pipe. So.
Oh yeah.
But once Cyberverse is over, I'm sure that's probably. I don't know. I mean, who knows? You can't really say why Hasbro makes the decisions they do. So, but.
I can't pretend to understand. I'd like to think that I'm like, I'm so like in the know and blah blah blah, but I'm not. I don't know. Some of the things they do just baffle me, but it seems to work. So
maybe Walmart made a hell of a deal with them to get that exclusive, but at the same time, it begs the question why they didn't order a crap ton of that
exactly.
and like the Soundwave too. Like, I mean, both of those just like you could they were both very hard to find, and all of us crazy people scooped them up. And if you're a kid that wants that stuff, it's like
you just kind of out of luck. Yeah, I was luckily able to get mine and his, so he was happy. But a lot of kids didn't. A lot of grown-ups didn't. We still see people in groups and chats and whatever saying, "I never found a Soundwave." And it's like, ouch,
Yeah.
So maybe they'll show up at Dollar Tree.
There you go. So, all right, Peter, what you got?
Oh, I got a cat down here who's in the way. This was inspired by Anna, this next one. And so let's see if I can get him close to the thing here. Do you know what's going on here?
It looks like another GoBot there.
It is another GoBot. This is Copter. You know Copter. He's your friend.
Right.
Well, he's an enemy. He's enemy robot helicopter, but he
oh, fun.
He dies. He's a push puppet. So these are a little push puppet. Ugh. My mom had one of these from Germany. Not a GoBot, but it was a lion from Germany from when I was a little kid, and I would just push on the thing and the lion would melt, and it was pretty cool. But they made 4 of these for the GoBots line. They made Copter, Psykill, Turbo, and Leader 1. This one I got on the super cheap. There's currently a Leader 1 push puppet with the package, but the package is pretty wrecked for I believe about $60 on eBay right now, and I'm not paying that. So yeah, it's just a neat little thing. I don't know why a child would want this when this is $4 on the price tag, and a GoBot itself would be $4 at the time.
Right.
So why would a kid want this instead of the actual GoBot? Who knows? But I think Anna has this one, and she was showing it off.
really?
Yeah, some time ago. Maybe like post-show shenanigans. I think she has this one. So yeah. So I got this, and now I have one. So yay!
There you go. So got to collect. Check that box on.
Check the box. It feels good.
Push button guys. So yeah, I don't know. That's a great question. I mean, that's what it's like. The toy companies have always been making those other toys where you're like, why did they make that kind of thing?
This is licensed. This is by a company called the Toy Store Limited, manufactured in Hong Kong. It's it's licensed by Tonka, but it's not a Tonka toy. But it's the same price as the actual toy, and I can't imagine that it would be anywhere on the shelf other than right next to the GoBots. So it's like, I'm $4, they're $4. I'm gonna buy the GoBot. I don't know. It's just such weird merchandise and such weird decisions by these companies.
See, I almost wonder if it was one of those things where that was the drugstore version or something like that, like at the time. So they didn't have the regular one, and it's like they just had those instead. And so then when the kid went in and got his toy, he's like, oh, I want the GoBot. And then you get it home and you're like, wait a minute, this isn't the GoBot. This is the push,
They're technically called action puppets. It says
maybe
like
that's for like the 2-year-old.
I can see that, but it's like rubber bands and string. I can see a 2-year-old just like ripping it apart.
That's true.
So I don't know.
I don't know. Well, like the GoBots toys, I always think it's funny because like the toys themselves were like Tonka toys, right? So like they're pretty bulletproof, other than they get loose and whatever, right? But all the accessories.
Yeah, they had accessories that
like
the
Autobot and whatever,
bots.
like all that. Like, I mean, you had the blades and whatever that are easily broken and easily lost and all that. The same thing with like Cykill and whatnot too. So it's like
Cykill broke easily. Like I want to say Dozer had a smokestack that could be a gun too, but the smokestack is seriously like this big. Mm-hmm. And a couple of other people. Pumper had a little tiny gun, like a tiny. It looks like, it doesn't even look like a gun when you have it out of his hand. It looks like a piece of shiny. What is this? Oh, just throw it away. It's just so many weird little pieces and parts that can get lost and broken with GoBots. It's part of the allure. But yeah, their bodies were like bang 'em, metal, get them.
Right. Yeah, you just wonder if somehow they had these, guys that designed toys back in the day that were like, haha, one day there's going to be a 40-year-old collector that, can't find the little, gun thing that came in good condition with, whatever figure. But
yeah, and it's further complicated by people who are doing repros of those tiny parts. And there's no marks. There's such vague pieces to begin with. I mean, you can tell when you see it, but it's like when you look at the repros versus the genuine article, if it's something this small, it's like that looks right.
Well, that's the thing that's frustrating, I'm sure, for like if you're buying things on eBay, because it's easy to tell like if you're just holding it in your hand and you're at a convention or whatever, but if you're buying it online, like if the pictures aren't great and the lighting isn't great or whatever, then you might not be able to tell. And then, like, be one of those things where you message the seller and you ask him and he's just like, I don't know, I got it from, wherever. And so
the people who actually make the repros clearly say this is a reproduction. But yeah, like you said, once it gets into the hand of other dude and he puts it in the hand of the toy, then maybe it's totally complete. It's complete. Looks complete. You might want to give me some money. And it's like, farts.
Right.
You can't tell until it's in hand. You're like, oh, I've been duped.
Yeah. and again, like the seller may not have known himself. So,
Right. That's true.
but
All right, you're up. What do you got?
me, okay. So, all right. So this is gonna be the last round for me. So I try to save the best for last, and this was actually enabling from Peter. Thank you because
Shots
you.
fired.
It was one of those things where it's like, how it's kind of like, how much should I pay? What do you think it's worth? And should I get it? Yada yada. And you're like, of course.
I know
you're
what
like,
this is.
You're like, of course you should get it. So, so it's from a local collector that I met up in the Kansas City area. So, I got myself a GoBot myself. So I don't know if this kind of supersedes some of the GoBots you have. I don't know. But anyway,
That's beautiful.
So this is a nice little package I've got here with Monstrous, the Renegade robot, with a little sticker from Comb, I guess. Liquidated. I guess it was liquidated at the time, $8. So,
Man.
but yeah. So it comes inside. Oh, hey, look who finally showed up. Let's see how many. What are we like? 45 minutes in, Paul?
I'm such
45 minutes, 4 rounds. Man, we're going to buy you a watch. I mean, out of my wallet, I got a watch for you.
Well, it's not so much the time; it was the day.
I'm buying calendar. I got a calendar.
Yeah.
That's what I
Yeah.
need. I need
Well, and
an
it's one of those
iCalendar.
things. Paul probably assumed that we're still on the first round anyway, because normally the way that these shows work is we're 45 minutes in, but so I run my shows at a little more of a brisk pace than the prior host of the show, so we're like 4 rounds in now, Paul.
Wow.
So
Well, it's a good thing I was late because I don't have 4 things.
yeah, so I don't know, like if we do a July edition of this, I'm gonna be like, sorry guys, I'm out of stuff here, but yeah, so it comes with the instructions. So that was pretty fun to get that as well, and yeah, if I show off all of the Renegade robots here.
Oh, that's pretty.
Wow, it came in a gift set.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Monstrous came in a gift set, came as individuals, and then overseas he was called Robo Fiend Puzzler, which is a different gift set. And so you got to get all of them, or else you have nothing.
That's a serious. I mean, that styrofoam is beautiful.
The styros, yeah, that whole thing is just. Oh, I love it.
So I was super excited to get this because, I don't know, like this doesn't come up a lot where it has the styrofoam and the box is like not in not great shape, but it's hey, I've got a box. So
And you'll often find the box by itself. You'll find a seller that's selling the box by itself, so maybe you can like buy the box and then offload the other box and then have crispy clean.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I'm normally not the type of person to like need it in pristine, condition. It depends on the figure. Like, I mean, I might trade up. Like if you have the opportunity to trade up, I'll do it. But it's not something where I'm like specifically like a lot of these ones, like some of my GoBots and whatever. It's like whatever I find the condition, that's what it is, kind of thing.
That's pretty
So,
cool.
But these are in really good condition too, so I'm not gonna have to worry about trading up for these. So
Normally those are just beat to hell and back when you find those, because they were like later on and they got picked up by little kids and they were played with. So the chrome is all worn the hell out. The joints are all flippity floppity.
I played with mine for sure. I actually somehow completed that over my tenure. By the time I have to remember which babysitter I got the last piece. I was probably 5 when I had that completed. I remember loving that blue dude for some reason. He just has like a funny face. That he's looking at me right now. You're bringing the memories back.
And I feel like, Peter showed off a lot of GoBots as well, but it's like, a lot of times GoBots get a lot of hate in the fandom, or people are always like, oh, they're the knockoff Transformers, whatever. But
Blame
I mean,
Kevin Smith.
They're not. But like, to be honest, like, I don't know, I felt like I had more GoBots than I had Transformers because they were, again, the $4 figures. So when you went to the store, whatever, like, and you're bugging your mom, you're not going to get the, whatever it was, $10 or $20 Transformer. You're going to get the $4 GoBot.
Right.
I seem to recall, like, I might be making this memory up, projecting, but like they were available in like grocery store aisles and stuff.
Yeah. They were,
or like Transformers. I remember growing up, they were like a department store only thing.
I often saw the mini bots and GoBots at grocery stores, at the shop at On Post, and just like in rando spots. To get the boxed Autobot cars and anything bigger, you had to go to department store or Fred Meyer or whatever your local flavor was.
I guess I'm just bringing that up because it could have almost been like an impulse item at the time. Grocery stores were very different back then. They were like proto what they are now, which they've had years to evolve and, hone the capitalistic instinct of.
They weren't all necessarily supermarkets.
Yeah. But so, like the GoBots were more prevalent in that respect. So I think a lot of people had GoBots. I mean, I think if you had Transformers, you had some GoBots for sure.
Right.
I like to talk about how my first Transformer was Jazz Christmas 1984, but prior to Jazz, I had multiple GoBots because they were the cheaper. And this guy turns into a police car. It's just like the guy on the other show. It's close enough, I guess. I'm 4. I can't argue. What am I going to do?
Considering how different the toys were from the cartoon in Transformers, like they might as well be the same.
Police car man is police car man. It's cool. Red car guy is red car guy. No worries.
Right. So
that's a beautiful piece. Awesome.
Yeah. So I appreciate it. Thank you for your feedback, Peter, because it was one of those things. He had shared it in the group a while ago, and a message about it, and he didn't get back. And then like a month later, he's like, oh yeah, hey, I still have this. Like, are you interested? And so I'm like, sure, kind of thing. And I'm going back and forth, and so I'm like messaging like Rob and Peter and whatever. I'm like, hey, like, what do you know about this and whatnot. But yeah, so thank you for your input on it, and I am very excited to have that. But again, like the GoBots are kind of like like what you had mentioned before, Peter, of I'm not actively looking for them. It's like more one of those nice little, things. It's like when they come across your Facebook feed, or you're at a convention and you're like, oh, hey, I don't have that one. Like that one looks cool. Like I want that. So
they're on the reserve want list.
Yes.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yep.
For a journey.
My significant other likes to make fun of me because a couple times a year I go off on a tangent, and I like run on that tangent for a month or so, and then I get burnt out on it and just like, okay, I'm back on Transformers, and I'm chasing down all my wheeled warriors that I'm missing. I'm chasing down mask stuff. I'm chasing down G.I. Joe. I'm chasing down just whatever. And right now I'm on a GoBots kick, and have been for about 3 weeks.
I like
So
GoBots.
Oh yeah. So when you brought that up, when you brought the
Yeah.
monstrous to my attention, I was just like, ooh, I'm on the right track. I'm on the right track, and everyone's feeling the vibe. This is good. I like this.
Well, one thing a lot of the GoBots I got a few years ago that people were just like, just almost giving them away on eBay, and like where people were just moving like huge lots of them, and so like I got a couple of like pretty good condition lots of GoBots for like, just stupid prices, and so like I've not found that recently, at least, but I'm not actively looking as much as what I was back then. But yeah, it was like one of those things where it's like $50 for like a lot of 20 or 30 or whatever kind of thing, and now if you find that they're not in good condition, it's usually a garbage lot.
Yeah. And certain individuals like Leader One and Psykill and Turbo can run $100 plus by themselves now. Scooter can go for $50 to $75. Yeah.
You kidding
And
me?
then no. And then if you're looking for actual rare things like Snoop or Tailpipe or any of the Series 3 Super GoBots, the Series 3s are good luck. Night Flight, Razor, Super Cooper, Throttle, those guys, good freaking luck finding them. 1, complete. 2, stickers. 3, unbroken. $300, you don't get any of those. So, yeah.
Those names
and-
are insane.
And then like Tailpipe, Snoop didn't get released in the U.S. He was released in Canada and Europe. So if you find him, you're probably not buying GoBot Snoop. That's the SR-71 Blackbird. You're getting Robo Machine Snoop or the actual Machine Robo Blackbird Robo. So if you find a loose Snoop, don't say I've got loose GoBot Snoop. You've got the MR mold, which is fine. And that's what I'm going to end up doing because I'm not spending the money to buy the couple legitimate Snoops that are out there with cards and whatnot. No. So, and Tailpipe came in 2 color variants, and they can go. One was on eBay. It didn't sell, but it was $2,300 carded. Wow. And I was like, nope, that's not happening.
So, like, are there tells, like there are with KO Transformers and stuff on like converters and what do you call them, Robo Machine?
Robo Machine is actually licensed from Bandai. Okay. Machine Robo molds. That's just what they called GoBots in other markets. Robo Machine, Machine Men, and Machine Robo. And
okay. GoBot. So it is still.
It's still
the mold, but I mean, can you? If you have one in your hand,
it's indistinguishable. Yeah, it's all pretty much indistinguishable. It's the same pedigree in terms of like mold and licensing and stamping and stuff. There will be some variations as you go later down the line, whether it's Poppy versus Bandai or Made in Japan versus Made in, I think, Taiwan. You have to just pay attention to your stamps. But if there are no stamps, then obviously you have a knockoff. And there were so many knockoffs of the first couple series of GoBots. But for the later stuff, the harder to find stuff, not a lot of knockoffs going on there.
Yeah, God, that is just crazy. There was a really cool resource for GoBots. Someone had cataloged, a lot of the series and whatnot, so it was easy to look at. But then I've noticed that website is not there anymore, which is like really
CounterX.
A shame. I can't remember what the name of the website was.
CounterX had a really good online database, but it's gone now. But it's been supplanted by Avon Fox's the-liberator.net. And
there you go.
He talks about all the stamps, all the variations, all the releases by country, all the color variants. There was a gold crasher that went on Yahoo Japan. It ended over a little under a week ago, like gold chrome crasher mold, the Porsche, whatever, crasher.
Right.
But it was like gold chrome. It was a lucky draw or something. But that thing was missing a headlight and clearly floppy, and it was being sold with a Rock Lord and something else, and it went for like $400. So, yeah, these things are like there's a market for Machine Robo and GoBots and all that stuff, and it's just so exciting. Your monstrous figure, I was talking about Devil Satan 6 earlier from Revenge of Kronos. That's that mold. Some color tweaks, but that's the mold. It's exciting stuff. I hope Action Toys gets to the Devil Satan 6 in their Revenge of Kronos Machine Robo line.
That would be exciting. I'm glad to see them back with that, because that was definitely a line that I was collecting as well, and it's definitely fun. Like, those are all like, it's essentially the Fans Project designers, I believe.
Make Toys.
Was it Make Toys? Okay. Yeah. So, but so the same kind of stuff. So, all right, Paul, do you want to go?
Well, I mean, if you guys still want me to, I know I showed up late to the party.
Yeah,
so.
You might as well. You're here. Show something off.
Well, are we gonna do rounds or?
Oh,
are you guys done?
Just show off like all the stuff that you have.
Just throw it up in the air like confetti.
I'm tapped out now myself, so you're gonna have to fill in for me.
Well, this won't be a surprise to you, Lucas, because I showed you over a message, but I found The Zoteki Skywarp.
So
Chase.
why is this like cool? Like, if someone that doesn't know,
I don't know if it's cool at all.
why are you excited to have gotten it? Like,
Why
is
did I
different from
pick it
that
up?
compared to the other stuff that's at Target?
Well, this was supposed to show up at Target, but as far as I can tell, it never did. They even have it on their website as like being like an item that can be there. I kept watching it to see if it would show up, and then when the Thundercracker one was revealed to be a Walgreens exclusive, then my ears really perked up. I was like, uh-oh, this is like a real problem if you like Seekers. And in my infinite wisdom, I somehow found a way to buy all these, and I have made the diorama. It's behind my screen here, or I would go grab it. I don't know. I got it because I saw it on the shelf at a GameStop, of all places. So that GameStop is getting them. And I showed this to somebody, and they're like, oh, yeah, I saw some of those at GameStop, too. I was like, oh. So I think, like, none of these were in the assortment for Target, and they happen to be in every
cases to GameStop.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. But, yeah, so now, I mean, I figured this wasn't coming out, I guess. I more bought it as a novelty. I'm not going to open this because I've already made the. You can't like add this to the display. You can just replace Starscream. And why would I do that?
Put it on top.
Just throw it over there.
Yeah. Those were available
nice
from the GameStop website, specifically those. That's how that's why I suspect that they were available in solid cases, because they're just like, we have this. Would you like it? And we're like, yeah, I would like that. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So yeah, Target got the short end of the stick on that, and they did the same thing where they didn't treat it like it was a chase, and it wasn't more expensive or anything. So it's just,
Does
it's a
Target
GameStop.
really even care? I mean, they're like, whatever. Here's another thing. They're like sitting next to the Pops or what, whatever.
I'll tell you what, though, those are gone. Like, you cannot find those Zoteki Transformers anywhere.
Nope.
Not that people are looking for them, but I mean, like, if I was looking for one to finish my stupid display diorama, like, I would have trouble finding it. So, I don't know, it's weird.
Those came to each of my Targets. They were on an end cap. They all showed up once. One, and then gone, and then they all showed up at all the comic book stores in the area, mysteriously. I wonder how that happened. And I got my set or whatever, but it's frustrating because they're all Gen 1, like super hyper stylized Gen 1, non-transforming, non-articulated, non-whatever, but you can make a cute little diorama, and they all have movie insignia.
Yeah, that's what's annoying about the current dark timeline is that there must be I just wonder what the actual reality of it at Hasbro is. Like, is there a folder that just says logos?
Probably.
And it has like 300 logos in there, and they just
and
pick
the intern
one.
goes to the one. That's the good guy one, and that's the bad guy one. I put them on the licensed product, and that's that.
Yeah, because like the Siege Starscream, there were versions with both logos, which I mean for me is fun because you get to like chase it down. But
yeah, and you have to hold the package like this, like
you have to use your phone.
Yep.
So, I mean, do not overpay for those Zoteki things. Like, do not go for the comic shop. They are like pretty worthless. They're tchotchkes at best. But if you can get them like for retail or even on clearance, like sure. I mean, they're so cheap. There's like they're supposed to be like $8 little pieces of crap, and
right.
They're probably worth $1. So
I don't know. I mean, I think that they're cool for $8. I would like. I think they're neater than some of the Pops and whatnot. Myself, I don't know. Of course, Paul, I guess you probably have all the Pops, so you could probably say which one you like better.
I think I'm with you. I like these things. Just flavor of the week of that better than Pops, and I am a pathetic person that has a wall of Pops now of Transformers, and I just don't know why I let it go there, but I did.
I have a tote of Pops because they're never coming out. Just stay in the tote. Goodbye.
It's literally like it's right there, and I have this 3x4 stack of Pops, like every schmo in the world, and it's not going to be there forever.
I feel like the Pops is one of those things where they're like, I'm never going to buy a Pop. They're so stupid. And then like eventually at some point they get to whatever, whatever your favorite thing is, and then they're like, dang it, they got me. Like I had to get it, because I'm the same way too, where it's like I've got a handful of pops that it's like they didn't make licensed whatever thing, and so the pop's the only way to go. It's like I'm gonna get my pop, and they're sitting on the shelf.
I mean, it's shameful, that I bought those, but I did. So I'll take my licks.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Well,
so
you can do that where
Skywarp,
you can sell. Eventually, you can be the guy at the Comic-Con that has the wall of pops that sells them or whatever, right?
I could, yeah. I could dress up for Halloween. That would be fun.
And Lego minifigures.
I mean, I would. I guess we got the Creons, right? So we got those, but like, I would have really liked to see Lego take a stab at Transformers. I just don't think it's ever going to happen after Creo. Those two companies don't want to mix. So yeah, Zoteki Skywarp, as Peter said, it's on the website. So if you wanna,
it was. I don't know if it still is. Yeah.
Or it's in a store. I mean, I don't go to GameStops regularly. I forget what I was looking for a Star Wars toy, and I was just like, oh, I saw those big Transformers too, like the statue ones, and I was like, oh, those actually aren't so bad. I mean, in the box
50,
they look okay.
Yeah, in the box they look fine. They're like $50. They're
$50.
Yeah, they're cute. I guess it's those are things akin to if you don't want to dive both feet into Transformers, you just want. I just like Megatron. I got my Megatron. He looks cool. Done.
Right.
Yeah, if they had Starscream, I probably would have bought it, but they just had Soundwave and Optimus, and I was just like, I haven't seen those, and it was a novelty thing. And then there was the Skywarp, and I was like, it got me, so I got it. All right, well, this next one, well, okay, I'll save that one for last. But here's something I got this is non-Transformers. Is that okay?
Yours was the first Transformers thing of the night.
Oh, great.
Not quite, but we're being hyperbolic.
No, I showed off that Netflix. Oh, and I showed the sunglasses. Those are officially licensed.
I was being hyperbolic. I said, and we were teasing.
Oh, okay. Anyway,
I got this guy. I got the big bad lady.
Did you
Unit
show
1.
that off to Christian?
Of course.
Seems like something he would want.
Yeah, he knew. Like we were talking about ordering. This is a 3.0 product. And it was like delayed by like a year. Like I ordered this so long ago, and it finally showed up, and I was like, oh, like I hemmed and hawed for like 3 weeks whether I wanted to open this or get rid of it, and I finally decided I would open it, and it's really fun. I've never had like a big Evangelion toy. I've always had like the Revoltech is the way I went with it. I also had those like decently neat old Kotobukiya toys from like the 2000s or whatever. Yeah. This is great. It's a high quality thing. It was like $100, and it has a bunch of accessories and stuff. But I'm gonna keep it like this. And the way I've been displaying it is with my Ava Prime. Like they're almost the same size.
Okay, we're like super narrow right now, so you have to kind of. Right. There you go. Yeah.
Now here's Oppie, and then here's his mommy.
There you go.
Well, they really kind of represent the same thing. Now kiss. But yeah, I like this. It's got a lot of die cast in the legs, which are pretty slender. And it has a lot of articulation. Not that I'm going to like pose it super crazy. I just kind of have it messing with MP10 Ava. And they're almost like the same size. The only thing that's annoying is that this coloration is from the Rebuild movies. So this green is like a lot more vibrant. It's like a little bluer than the original like lime green. So they kind of clash a little bit. So be careful if you care about it. It also glows in the dark.
Oh, that's fun.
So do I, but
Yeah, but
Well,
you're
you're in
not.
Florida, so.
So yeah, I got that maybe a month ago or something, and I don't think I'm gonna get like more of them. I mean,
Yeah.
we'll see what they release. I think they're releasing Unit 2, but again, it's from the movies, and like they have slightly different designs from like the historic ones. And I still haven't seen the last movie. I've been really good about keeping away from spoilers on it, so I don't know if there's like some super awesome unit in that movie that I'm gonna want, but we'll see. I don't even know if they're gonna make more of those, but they always make Ava stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I really like all the 3A, 3.0 stuff. Like, it's usually pretty high quality stuff, and
Yeah.
I mean, it's usually pretty competitively priced, like comparative to other things that are in its bracket. Like Flames toys or whatever it may be, kind of thing. So I don't know.
Yeah, you really have to mess with the toys to really know the nuanced difference between like why one is so much money versus
Right.
the other. Like it's not really apples to apples, but on the surface it totally is. Like, just if you're just looking at two listings, you're like, why is this one so much more? Ah. Like a 3.0 Tarn would be weird. But
Yeah.
maybe they'll do it.
Right.
I
It'd
can
be
see
cool.
it happening.
I haven't, I really haven't liked their G1. Well, I guess it was 3A back then. Yeah, but they did like an Optimus, and it sucked. It was really goofy.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the newer stuff is the stuff that I picked up, like the Bumblebee movie things. So, but that's really all that I know is that DLX line that they have. So I
Well,
know they
yeah.
have another line that's the bigger items that are more expensive.
Yeah, they really. I mean, like their toys are really awesome at that scale. They're almost.
Yeah.
They're awesome at the big scale too. They're just almost too big and too expensive. So, if you're gonna dip your toe in, get the DLX. Plus, the size is better.
Right. So.
Well, my last thing is a big black box,
Oh, there you go. Is
and
that
I've been.
the
been him-
Abominus?
Well, we can open it and find out.
There you
'Cause
go. Oh, wow. Are you
I've-
cutting the tape?
I've been hemming and hawing on this for like a week and a half.
Uh-huh.
It's cut. So I'm taking some of Rick's thunder here. And so within this black sleeve is another black sleeve. I love it. Woo! Big Decepticon-y logo on the back. There's your Terracons from the new movie.
Spoilers.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't give out those movie spoilers.
Yeah, don't do that. Look out. Look out. So, yeah, this is. I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to put it together, but let's take a
So,
look.
is that still available on Pulse or is it sold out now?
Couldn't tell you, but that's where I got this.
Yeah.
This is that. That's how you know it's from Pulse, is it has the two sleeves.
Yeah.
'Cause basically, the way it is within the sleeve is how it's released in Japan. So here's the layout. I don't know. You got it too? I knew you did.
Hey. See, now I'm feeling FOMO because I had that on order and then I was like, I don't need this. I already have the Hasbro one. And so Christian and I both canceled because we're like, we're trying to be budget conscious and
let's see. I mean,
and
it
Phil
comes with-
said it's sold out on Pulse. So
I mean,
there
it
we
comes
are.
with 2 new feet. It comes with a big ass gun.
Yeah.
2 purple guns. I'm not sure where those go. New fists and this big chest piece. So yeah, and
Well,
there's definitely premium stuff. I mean,
And
I
new
gotta
deco.
say, yeah, completely new deco and new parts.
right.
I got the Grimlock set too, and I think it's really underrated. I think it's awesome.
It's great. It's a great set.
The Volcanicus set. Sorry, not the Grimlock.
Yeah, right.
I got it for Grimlock, so that's why I called it that. But yeah, these big gift sets, they're fun. I hate the shape of the box, but
Yeah.
they're there's something that I think you know, it's like, oh, I don't need another one of those, but then after you see it, you're like, God, I wish I got that. So that's why I got them. And I like Abominus. I wouldn't say, I guess I character collect them. I have a G1 one, and I have a third party one, and I was excited about the Power of the Primes one, and now I got this one. So.
But do you have the Prime one?
Oh yeah, I got both.
There you go.
I guess I should probably have Infernicus too at that point, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh yeah, love the Terracons. I am not excited about them in the new movie because they're going to be nothing like they're supposed. They're like they just threw a name on something random. So okay.
It's that intern with the book. Like, what do we have? Oh, okay, we haven't used this yet.
Yeah.
Yep. Hey, you know what? Like, you gotta make sure that you still use up those copyrights or whatever, right? So you gotta throw those names on something.
Well, I guess
Or the
I saw some
trademarks or whatever it is.
I saw some YouTube guy like being like, now we got the Terracons. Now we need to, they need to use the aerial bots and the techno bots as tribes. And I'm like, oh my God, no. Like, that's not how it works. Like, because the Terracons are still Decepticons. They're not their own thing.
Well, I mean, I don't want to talk too much about spoilers, but the way they're handling Scourge is clearly Cybertron Scourge, Flame Convoy.
Yeah.
So maybe these Terracons are like Energon Terracons, where they are their own thing.
That's
and they
true.
are minions of Unicron, and Unicron is Earth.
I mean, it really could be anything, right? Like with Michael Bay, and whatever comes out is going to contradict it.
Yeah, it's just they're just repurposing the name. It's like back in Beast Wars being pissed they called the bad guys Predacons when they, it's just whatever. It's just semantics and
it doesn't matter because Optimus Prime's going to run through them with his sword and be like, "You die! I will murder you all." And then
what if he?
they'll all
Oh
die.
my God!
That.
If he actually said, he may actually say that line.
He said,
die! I will murder you all.
He said, "We will kill them all" at the end of the third movie, and he pointed like nobly, like, "We will kill them all." And it's like, whoop, shit. Okay.
Which movie was it where he goes, "Now you die"? Was that what he said to Shockwave when he kills him?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh man.
It was I rise, you fall to the fallen, and give me your face. Now you die. We will kill them all. Time to find out. And then during the forest battle in Revenge of the Fallen, it's like, waste of scrap, useless junk. He's just beating the shit out of Grindor and whoever else. Like hip checking people and tearing their faces apart. It's like, what the? Oh, that's my childhood hero, you guys. That's cool.
My dad. Stop. Stop it, Dad.
Movie Prime is a lot more like my dad. So.
Well, Peter, was there anything else you wanted to show off before we?
Maybe.
Yes.
That's a maybe. Check out my notebook, you guys. This guy GoBot.
Oh.
And it's got.
Oh, can you move it over a little bit? I'm having trouble. Oh, nice.
And GoBot.
Wow.
And a GoBot. 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 And a GoBot.
I like
And a
robots.
GoBot. Oh yeah. You know how many GoBots there are? 72. And how many Carbacks are in here? Not that many. But close.
A
Close.
lot.
Oh god, we're only in the D's. Now we're in the F's.
Who is that red jet guy that you?
Phytor.
Phytor.
Phytor. Flytrap, Jeeper Creeper, Goodnight, Hands Cuff, Leader 1, Loco, Pathfinder, Pincher, Pumper, Rescue, Road Ranger, Royal T, Screwhead, Scorp, Scratch, Slicks, variant of Slicks, Smallfoot, Sparky, Spacey, I'm falling over. Who are you? Spoiler, Stallion, Street Heat, I'm out of breath. Tank, Twin Twist, Twin Spin, Vamp, wrong way, and 0.
Wow. How do you have enough room in there to keep all those guys along with all the Transformers? And everything else.
And More Than Meets the Masters of the Universe and G.I. Joe. Yeah, and other stuff.
It's amazing.
We're a sponge.
Yeah, how many Masters of the Universe characters are there?
Characters? 300.
Toys. Yeah.
Toys? A couple thousand. Do I have that many? No.
That leads me to a good question. Which toy line has the most characters? I've never really...
Transformers.
Do we
Star
have
Wars? Star Wars and Transformers, I'd say. But Star Wars people keep, like, it's the same characters in different outfits a lot of times. Unless you do Expanded Universe, but same with Transformers. It's Optimus Prime wearing a hat.
Well, part of the reason we have so many characters is because they didn't go back to the well for so many years, you know? What?
He held up the Matrix from the spoiler pack, and he's saying it's Megatron with a hat.
Yeah, yeah, the Megatron hat.
Malibu Stacy with new hat. But yeah, they didn't go back to the well until starting with Pretenders and Action Masters, and then they were like, "Oh wait, shit! People really want these characters over and over and over again." Well, Gen 2 will just do 3 Bumblebees and a couple of Primes, 4 Primes. Every Prime will be in every assortment now. What the fuck? It doesn't matter. It's cool. Yeah.
Just interesting. Never dawned on me. Like, oh, I just assumed we were like at the bottom of the barrel, and like Marvel had thousands more characters than us, and so did Star Wars. But maybe we're all kind of in the same wheelhouse.
It depends on how you want to. I mean, Star Wars has more toys. Transformers, I would say, has more characters, but not all those characters get toys. Marvel. That's the same thing with, dude with new hat, Spider-Man with blah blah action and Doctor Doom with foop and flashy hands or whatever he's got. So I don't know. It'd be fun to count it all out. If only there was a website that someone could make that had a database of all the different toy lines and all the different versions of all the different figures, and he worked on it and actually made the website. That way we could keep track of our collections and know what was there. But that person isn't working on that website, and I don't have the skills for it. So I guess we'll just have to live with schmacks.
That would be cool.
That would be cool.
That would be cool, man. That's the dream right there.
I would love that.
So I do want to mention book club. This week is going to be. They actually have a jam-packed book club at 8 p.m. and I'm assuming this is Central Time. They will be viewing and discussing animated episode 1. And then at 9 p.m. they will be discussing RID 42 and 43. So tune in. That's going to be on the TF Talk Discord. So yeah, check that out.
Y'all need to get to More Than Meets the Eye. What's Remaining Light? What's the last one? What's the end? What's the end of the Megatron arc?
Remaining Light.
It's getting there.
Y'all need to get there, please.
What's the last More Than Meets the Eye? I can't remember. Is it
57?
57.
Because it was like, why are you... Oh, whatever. IDW, you've given up. And spoiler alert, they've given up.
I know some people would disagree with you, but yeah.
It's one robot's
not us.
No, but we're not those people. So, but yeah. So, let's see what else we got. I don't know. I got nothing.
MP52's coming out.
What's the date on that?
Tomorrow, dog.
Ooh.
Boom. Actually, it's probably out right now. Right now.
So, what does that mean? That you're gonna have it on your doorstep by Monday?
Hopefully. I got to take the day off. I'm gonna have to take the day off the day that comes.
Man,
I'm gonna bathe in Starscream.
I really hope that we can have a special show so that you can give us all the ins and outs of this new MP52.
No, don't let him give us the ins and outs after he's bathed in the
I
ins and the outs.
You gross. You can't bathe in plastic. Okay, it was a figure of speech.
You can, but you would be horribly, horribly burned.
Yeah, that would suck. The pictures are looking good. I mean, it looks mighty good from what I've seen. I don't try to scour for stuff, but I've seen like galleries of people in like China that got it early, and I'm like, whoa, that looks real nice.
I'm curious to see how the transformation will be.
Yeah, I guess there's like, maybe this is a toy spoiler, but like there's cool details under the back of the wings. Like, because however it transforms, like it's got some tricks, and they didn't just like, there's like stuff you don't see unless you transform it. That's like, got a peekaboo. This is cool. Paint apps and stuff. That got me excited today. So
I'm excited. Am I going to open it? Once someone sells off their spare, yeah, I'll open it. I've got everything. I've got Thundercracker and Skywarp on pre-order, and I'm so tired of Starscream and Prime and Megatron and the same 8 guys over and over again.
I hear you there. It's just I'm excited to have a new masterpiece toy that like I want and that I'm going to open. Like I'm not going to open Screech and Skids, but like I'm going to open this because I want to.
Because you're genuinely excited. No, that has merit. I like it. I respect it.
I don't know. I mean, I think there's something to be said too of getting the, closer to that perfect version of a figure where you're like, oh, this is just a little more perfect than the last one. So it's like, the masterpiece of the original one when it came out, and I'm sure that we were all super excited by that, and then they redid the masterpiece. And we're like, oh, well, this one's slightly better. And then, like, down the road, Make Toys made their version, which I don't know if you count that or not, Paul.
Of what? The Seeker?
The Seekers, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah. I have it. I never transformed it though. It's just like in a plastic case.
But I mean, it was a really neat figure as well.
Lightning.
It looked neat. Yeah.
Its head was a little dinky.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was dark. Like the Starscream was at least.
I'll say one little piece about it, and there's a new third-party toy coming out too. A new it's essentially copping off the new masterpiece Starscream. But when I look at it, I've actually fooled myself. I'm like, wait a minute, which one is this? Is this the new MP52 or is this the bullshit one? And it's the bullshit one.
Super Deformation or whatever.
Yeah, that D Starscream, let's call it. But I look at it, and it might have a few tricks in it, but like it looks like it just transforms the normal Starscream way, from what I can see. I'm sure it has some tricks. Okay, like I don't get on me for not knowing, but like the reason MP44, MP45, and this new Seeker, I think Takara really cares about the transformation, like the puzzle. They overcomplicate it, on purpose. And it's not the only way you can get from that like cartoon robot to the jet, but they're kind of like, what's the point of just upgrading the way it looks in robot mode if the transformation isn't an in their opinion, upgrade by being more complex. And I think I said this in our chat, but like
you did.
I always think
it's a good point.
I have always thought as a kid, from the whole way through, like they should get more complex as they go. And that's why I kind of like that MPM line, even though it is a bitch to transform some of those toys, like the early ones. That's what I kind of expect as Transformers evolves. It should be more and more crazy.
See, I don't know. Like, I don't. I mean, this would probably be a decent show topic on its own, because like I don't know that I agree with that. I think that like I want the most intuitive and simplest transformation while at the same time maintaining like articulation and the look in both modes. If you can pull off
MP
both modes and whatever without having it be a crazy transformation, all the better.
I enjoyed the puzzle. I don't want it to be. There are some figures like the Bold Forms Gladius or whatever that was frustrating, not insofar as the puzzle was complicated. It was complicated, but it was frustrating insofar as the plastic was so garbage that you couldn't do the puzzle properly. So it sucked all the fun out of what would have been a challenge, something that I could really get, sink my teeth into and play with. The Optimus, the most current, the Megatrons, they're there. There's a lot good to be said about like the Masterpiece Prowl, who I think nails the look in both modes, excuse me, and the mold is not complicated at all, but it's still fun, and it still feels like during that roll call in the first episode where his waist spins and he drops, and it's just like, that's my dude, that's it right there, So there are things to be said about both sides of the argument, and I think it would be a good show topic.
Yeah, I don't think Transformers should be complicated just to be complicated, but I don't like this Starscream is a faux cockpit, which is annoying, but like I'll take it because I haven't seen how they're gonna do it, and it's like that's part of the novelty for me. It's in a world where you pretty much can expect, what to expect almost all the time. The older you get, like there's a little bit of surprise, and I'll take it. The first time you transform it, you get the surprise. After that, it's gone forever. So, what is that? Those are socks.
Move over a little bit.
Those are socks.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
There we go. Yeah.
Can I plug something? Not mine.
Sure.
There is, if you are a crusty old Transformers fan, there is like something going on right now on Facebook, which is another old crusty Transformers fan is sharing his very provocative collection, and it's called Rare Bots. Just look up Rare Bots, and it's like a new piece of awesome content once or twice a week. Like crazy rare Japanese stuff, like samples from factory and Takara employees, and it's just a treat. It really makes my day every day I see a post there. So I just wanted to give that guy a shout out.
Public page.
Yeah, it's called Rare Bots, like rare robots. So check it out. It's a notable collector. It's really cool because he's usually pretty secretive about his stuff, and just kind of fun to see if you're into that thing.
Hey, look, you showed off the Crasher I was talking about.
Oh, there you go.
That old Crasher.
There you go. It's a lot of fun photos, and I think he just is bored from COVID and wants to show his stuff off finally. Because it's a lot when you have stuff like that. It's a lot of work to like present it in the right way, and he's doing it exactly how he wants. No one's telling him what to do. He can do whatever he wants, and it's just really fun to see it.
That's fun.
So.
Yeah, I really enjoy guys like that. Showing off those types of things. So fun. Thank you, Paul.
Welcome.
So, all right. Well, thank you guys for joining me tonight. Even if certain people were late. I apologize. Yeah, thank you to everyone in the chat tonight. Thanks to Zoldron. Thanks to Pismo. That Destron guy. Ron, I think earlier. So yeah. Thank you guys for everyone that was watching, and we will see you on the regular TFLP on Monday nights at 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central, and then Microcasters should return in its regular night and time next week on the tftalk.net Facebook page. So, yeah. So, all right. Well, thanks, guys, and we will see you.
Bye.
Thank you.